All right, people, welcome back again to a Bootleg Brand show, and we are back at it again. It's been a while, it's been a minute, so it feels kind of awkward, but we're gonna get right into it. You got your host TJ. I got my homie with me, Ice Water Jap, and we got a special guest today, Mr. Melvin Blow.
Hey now, oh real, what's up, bro?
So today you're gonna get some financial advice from Mr. Melvin Blow. Jap, we'll let you go ahead and get started with it today.
Oh well, first thing first, we got to do them links. You want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at a bootleg brand, and on TikTok at a bootleg brand 22. So we have here Mr. Melvin Blow, uh, my financial instructor. Alrighty then, the pressure now, but to me though, he off a meal. That's what we do. Yes, sir. So we brought you in today, man, because I think it was weekend before last, right? We had a financial seminar at Murray Chapel. Shout out to Murray Chapel. That's all the family and friends. I love y'all. But it actually started my journey on managing my money and doing better. What could the old could say? Cause you know better, you do better. So, and then what really sent me over the edge was a book, and we'll recommend that later. Okay. But the first question is, and I think us as black people, we want to know for the regular 9 to 5 working person, how is it that we manage our money better? Because we always hear people at our jobs, well, they don't make enough for what I do, and this, then the third. Okay. I've come to realize after your seminar and after reading certain books, it's not how much you make, it's how much you manage. How will you manage him? How much of it you'll keep? Oh, well, first of all, real quick disclaimer. Uh, this is financial. This is a financial discussion. Right. And sharing financial information is not financial advice. This is for instruction purpose, educational purpose. However, the financial principles that we're going to be discussing are rock solid. But for the record, this is just for educational and for informational purpose, not financial advice. But getting back to your question, the regular, ordinary person, I always tell folks to just start from wherever you're at right now. And then I suggest to them to just sit down in a quiet corner, just themselves, a blank piece of paper, and whatever it is that is on their mind that they want to do, want to achieve, capture it on paper. It don't have to be anything fancy, drawn out, just a little list to provide some focus for what it is that you're trying to do. And this fits in with setting and achieving goals. Set some financial goals from yourself. Started from where you're at right now, and then come up with a game plan to start putting aside to make that happen, whether it's just saving for a car, saving to buy a house, saving for retirement, saving to send your kids to, whatever it is, plan for it, but then start taking the action that's going to cause it to come to fruition down the road. So that's where you start at. But a regular, ordinary person, I tell them, don't go to work your whole life paying everybody except for yourself. Mm-hmm. So one of my very first financial principles is pay yourself first. Don't just pay yourself first. Do it on purpose. Be very intentional. Now, another disclaimer. I'm not suggesting that you don't handle all your financial obligations. Absolutely. I'm just saying, as you're listing your financial obligation, put you at the very top of the list. Like way up at the top of the list. And since you get up and go to work every day, you owe it to yourself to, while taking care of everybody else and handling your financial obligation. Okay. Pay yourself and pay yourself first.
That's very important. Go ahead, TJ. So, what's your definition of like financial success or like financial independence?
I don't honestly don't know the answer to that question. I always tell folks to define that for themselves.
not a book definition, not the experts, not what that means. What that means to me when I was younger, financial success to me, and it had nothing to do with money. Financial success to me was this is me growing up as a youngster. If I could be as good of a dad as my Uncle David, my Uncle Early, and my Uncle Tom, and me as a kid watching them throughout my life go to work, take care of their family every day of life and their extended family. So that was my own personal definition of financial success. Had nothing to do with money. If I could be as good of a dad, meaning if someone would put my name in the same sentence as any one of those three gentlemen, as a dad, taking care of my family, and as a dad, then by my own definition, I'm financially successful. Now, all my youngins are grown and out of the house. It's just mama and daddy party time. So now my definition of financial success is different. I tell my wife my definition now is if we could go on a trip anywhere in the world anytime we want to and come back and I deposit 2 checks in the bank. See, that's my own made up definition. So I tell folks define financial success, financial independence for themselves. Now, I'm a strong proponent of us as a people, our people becoming financially debt free. When I say debt free, I'm primarily talking about get rid of all your consumer debt and don't create new debt. Now, you got to be very focused and intentional because there's all sorts of stuff out here to trip you up along the way. There's shiny stuff and the bright stuff and the glittering stuff where we as a people go and willingly give our hard-earned paycheck to every pay period over the course of a whole working life until you decide that, hey, I don't want to do that no more.
Okay. So what are like some good financial habits that you can kind of give some advice on that kind of gave like a positive impact on you as far as like tackling down debt?
Tackling down debt. Now, one of the most popular one, and one that I believe in, is called the snowball effect. Uh, all of the financial experts, which I'm not, all of the financial experts use that buzzword, the snowball effect. And that's essentially taking your smallest debt, tackling that at warp speed while handling all your other financial. And then once you get that one taken care of, all the proceeds from that, the principal and interest to tackle the next smallest one and then tackle the next small. And as you're doing this, you do not create new debt, but game planning, being intentional. So come up with a strategy, every individual based on wherever you're at right now, whatever you got going on, and come with your own written game plan and stick to it, but be intentional with it. So, but the key, I think, is for folks not to get overwhelmed by the big fish. Start where you're at right now and get started game planning and get started tackling that debt and don't create new debt. And at some point along the way, become 100% totally debt free, except for perhaps a mortgage. And then with that, me, after you get all the other ones, tackle that at warp speed. So imagine this living the rest of your life debt free and no mortgage.
Mm.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm going to take another step up. And at some point in time, perhaps, because on the news last week, state of North Carolina just got the blessing from the insurance commissioner to up insurance up to 63.8%, some outrageous amount. So if you once you get your house paid for and they jack the insurance rate up by 63%, person like me, okay, I got an answer for it. I ain't paying the 63.3%. My house paid for it. Guess what? I ain't got no homeowners insurance. Hold it. Now, so what do I do? So what I was paying the mortgage company and what I was paying the insurance company, put that away in a totally separate money market savings account. And now I'm insured by my own bank account with my own name on it. Now we got a little off track. That's next level. We going too far, but
Well, that's what they need to hear.
I know, but you got me all worked up. I went too far. All right, let's hold it back now. All right, what's the next? What you got?
So when we talk about pay yourself first, that honestly, I'm like I said, it just started clicking for me after your seminar in the book
Well, it was wasn't the seminar, it was a financial planning discussion.
discussion.
We
Right.
we
Right.
that disclaimer I put out there earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. Yeah. But what I didn't understand was about pre-tax deductions as well as another form of paying yourself first.
Oh, certainly. For me, throughout my working years, um, I'm definitely a huge fan. He's now what you're specifically speaking of is a traditional individual retirement account, or on the job with me, a traditional 401k. And what you do, the state, it's governed the same. I always tell folks, it's the same whether you're talking an individual retirement account, a full 3B retirement account, a 401k retirement account. All of them are the same. Folks will tell me, well, no, this you can bargain. I said, no, you ain't listen to me. There's two things about them when I say it's the same. They're all governed the same at the federal level by the Security and Exchange Commission, same rules. And as it pertains to us, it's for our long-term savings retirement agenda. It ain't about borrowing against it or hardship or what. It ain't about maneuvering into debt. It's long-term. So when I say it's the same, that's why I say they're all the same. But you're talking about how you can put into retirement with pre-tax dollars, which lowers your amount of taxes you pay for that tax year, and it gets to grow tax-free and tax deferred all the way until you're 59 and a half or older and decide to pull from it. So that's the beauty of it. However, now they have out what they call the Roth individual retirement account and the Roth 401k. And I'm an even more huge fan of that. Me personally, traditional what they had when I started in the workforce. So that's what I had, and that's what I stuck with. I didn't do the conversion because it wouldn't have been worth it to me. Had I done it younger, converted when I was younger, I probably would have, but it's not working now. But the Roth RA is even better than the traditional, but you put in with after tax dollars, so you don't get the tax break from the jump, but it gets to grow tax free and tax deferred. And when you pull out, you're not taxed on it. So that's the Roth. I'm an even more huge fan of that, even though I had the traditional because that's what was in place. It don't matter either way, it works for you. It's a beautiful situation. And what you're specifically talking about is putting your money to work for you as you're working harder on the job. One of my young coworkers, I was explaining to her like this. I said, after retirement, by putting into 401k heavily throughout my working years, I want the 401k to generate every month more than your paycheck and my paycheck put together by investing consistently throughout your working life at a rate that's going to get you. Yeah, so it can work.
So as far as rates are concerned, how much should you be putting towards your forward? What
Every young person out the gate, 15% plus, without hesitation. Now, when I give folks that instruction and I suggest it to them, most of the time I don't understand their financial situation, their financial dynamics. I don't know the income. I don't know what the bills are, any of that. But the rule in the financial world from those who are financial planners, which I'm not, again, 15+% of your gross into your retirement.
See,
Faithfully.
I just recently did that. I bumped it up to 16.
My dog.
Look, I'm looking at my paycheck. I said, oh, I lost $200. Well, I didn't even lose. Out of my net pay, it's only a $200 difference.
But 3/4 from now, get back with me. Let me know
Oh, yeah.
what you think.
It's encouraging.
3/4 of getting those quarterly statements.
Absolutely. Yeah. Also, I want to throw something in there. If as long as you got a 401k account and you mess up everything else in your life, by the time you retire, later, you do exactly what he said. This is not financial advice. This is just suggestions. 16%, 10%, even at just 10%, you will be okay. Trust me, you will be all right. So go ahead, dog. You got the floor.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Calm me down,
I like that. I like that. But did I answer your question?
Yeah, it is.
And I went a little off. Yeah, but it's all good. Though. All right, what else you got for me?
So pretty much the discussions that the financial discussions that we're having now, if you were sitting in the room, just say with a younger self, like let's say your 20-year-old self, um, like what would you tell your 20-year-old self? You could sit in the room now with yourself when you was 20 years old.
I would tell myself now, I would say self would say and then I would commence to talking. I would tell self, the things that I'm saying now, it ain't something to do later when I'm older or right before I retire. At 20, at 25, that's the time. And because time itself is neutral, it's not for you or against you. What am I saying when I say that? Time, money, your money that you work hard for, my money. If you don't tell your money to do nothing, it ain't gonna do nothing. You're gonna work hard over the course of a work life, of your entire life, earning a paycheck, paying every bit of it out, and what's left, that disposable or discretionary income, it's gonna get lost out there in the stratosphere somewhere, and you're gonna have accumulated no wealth and no assets. However, talking to my 20-year-old self, if I do what he said, put 15+% of my gross away faithfully in my 401k. And the only thing I'm doing, I'm going to work every day. I'm handling my financial obligation and my other obligation and enjoying life. But if I start with my 20-year-old self, like he said you're going to be okay. I'm going to be a millionaire.
Pretty much.
I'm talking about by doing just that. Not because, it's because of how money works. Not because of me doing that, but what it's generating. And as it's generating, putting more on top of it, and it's generating. But yeah, if my 20-year-old self would listen to what me and this young man and did everything else wrong, I would still retire a millionaire.
Also, too, one thing I also learned as well, whatever programs that your job has for you, like especially through insurance, and they have other pre-tax deductible programs. I don't know if I used that right, deductible, but just like a health savings account. If you have that, put money towards it. You'll thank me later. I just want to throw that in there. But before we wrap it up, we gotta give at least 5 book recommendations.
Oh, that's a whole lot.
Okay, 3.
Book recommendation. The Automatic Millionaire. I don't remember that author name.
Great book, David Bach.
Okay, David Bach, Bachch.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's the name. The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And
Everyday Millionaire by Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan, and he's part of the Dave Ramsey team. That book is not the most well written, but it's a great book from a substantive perspective. Really, really good book from a substantive. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, any more question as we wrap it up? I hit me with one more.
That's all we need.
Okay, I appreciate you having me out. Good looking out. I mean, we got to chat it up again sometime real soon.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all having me out, church.
All right, Jack, take us on out, man.
Hey man, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at a bootleg brand, and follow us on TikTok at a bootleg brand 22. This is how we coming now. We done with all the foolishness. It was fun while it lasted. You know, but that's how we coming. We wanna learn stuff. That's how the country folks say. We want to learn something. What you know out there? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh I know the bit. They don't teach and instruct. They learn you something. I mean, learn you something, boy.
Yes, sir. And we are out here.